Hi, it's time for a devotion from history. What happens when you land a dream job, but it turns out that the boss is a nightmare? That's what happened to Sir Thomas More. He was an agreeable, amusing, and intelligent man. His eloquence as a writer was universally admired, and his novel, Utopia, written in 1516, is still considered to be one of the greatest works of the Western literary canon. These merits propelled Thomas More to the highest office in England on October 26th of 1529. Prior to this time, only clergymen were appointed to the office of Lord Chancellor, but Henry VIII broke with precedent and appointed a layman to the office. But even though Thomas More was not a member of the clergy, he was a deeply religious man. He was devoted to the Catholic Church and was a man of deeply held principle. Unfortunately, what the boss, King Henry, wanted from his Lord Chancellor was not deeply held principles, but absolute obedience. When Henry VIII decided to break with Rome and declared himself to be the head of the Church of England, Thomas More would not consent that Henry had the right to replace the Pope. In spite of his stellar job performance and reputation, Thomas More found himself in the Tower of London, where he was executed in 1535. His last words were, "I die the King's good servant, but God's first." Thomas More chose to lose his job and his head rather than deny his principles, and history remembers him as the man for all seasons, because there was no doubt as to where he stood, regardless of the prevailing attitude of his day. Are you faced with a decision of principles today? Remember, there is no job or relationship that is worth compromising your deeply held convictions. This is a devotion from history with Ruthie Oberg. Check us out on the web at devotionsfromhistory.org.